What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Toto on Video Podcast with me, Eric Namai. Okay, so today we're going to be discussing internet addiction. But before I get into the topic, let me introduce the guest. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, so maybe you could just tell us your name and just something small about you.
My name is Zinjeri Njoroge. I am a counseling psychologist currently working at Childline Kenya. It's a child helpline as a child therapist.
So you're a therapist?
Yes.
Okay, I have another question, but I'll ask you another time.
Okay.
So usually on the podcast we have a short segment for riddles. Okay, and I think this is a riddle, and it's kind of related to what we're talking about. Okay, so how good is your Swahili?
Well, 35%.
Okay, 35%. I am going to ask you something. It's related to what we're talking about, and okay, do you know what Bishkwambi means? It's something we have every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us can't live without it, me especially, and yeah, we all love it. Okay, not most people don't have it.
You have it right now?
Well, you can't see it.
Your voice?
Tangible.
Your phone?
Wow, it's actually a phone.
Oh, okay. Then.
Okay, so it is a phone, and I did say it's related to. Okay, so you won. Guess you'll see me before, after the podcast.
I will definitely, and I think at this point my Swahili should go to 85%.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so it is related to what we're doing, internet addiction. So why should we have the conversation about internet addiction?
Why should we?
Why is it something we're talking about, especially you as a therapist?
For starters, we are having this conversation because it's definitely a problem, and if it's not a problem to most people, it will be a problem in the coming years. That is why it is important for us, for parents, for children to have this conversation about internet addiction. Just like any other addiction, it has its repercussions.
Which brings us to another question. Well, you did say why we should have this conversation, right? But what are we talking about? We're talking about internet addiction. What is internet addiction? The whole thing. Which brings us to another question. What is addiction in the first place?
Addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So in simpler terms, when someone is addicted to something, is you're doing something in excess, which is actually affecting your normal life. So internet addiction is when, for example, in this podcast, we are more, or rather you talk about children. So when your child spends more time on social media and they forget to do their homework, they don't want to interact with other children, or rather they are want their own space and they want to stay alone, but they're not connecting socially with other people outside, but on the internet, and they're spending more time, and they feel like they can't go to bed without accessing the internet. They will not eat until probably your child is watching Cocomelon. So when it reaches that point is when we call it addiction, when someone cannot do anything without.
I think you just described me.
But
okay, the question is, if this is an addiction, I can't live without it completely. What if I'm comfortable with it? I personally, okay, let me talk about the Gen Z generation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all know it's an internet generation, right?
Yeah.
Spend most of the time on the phone.
Yeah.
It's basically online. Basically everything is online, right? What if I'm comfortable with it? What if does it affect me?
The truth is, everyone who's addicted is not uncomfortable with what they're addicted with.
Oh.
For example, if I am addicted, I'm addicted with alcohol. I am not uncomfortable with that. Like, I feel fine while I'm taking the alcohol. I just feel like heaven on earth. So it's the same thing. Nobody can be addicted with something they're uncomfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
You're just addicted with something you are very comfortable with. So yeah.
Okay. And there's someone, a friend of mine, she told me that she's always on the phone watching sad TikTok. And she's okay with it, completely okay, because I think it's a study. I don't know, you confirm it for me. But when you watch something that is so sad and you are sad at that particular point of time, you generate positive feelings or positive kind of vibe-ish, right? Is it true, first of all?
I don't want to say right back,
Okay.
but I feel like, or I'm thinking, when I am sad at the moment, and I just want to listen to sad songs, and I just want to listen to other sad stories. It's just a way to comfort myself. Like, siko peke yangu, like I'm not alone. Kumbe tuko wengi. Kumbe hii stuff inatufanya. It's just a way of comforting yourself. But is it really helping you get through what you're going through at the moment, or is it just helping you suppress it and feel like, since tuko wengi, I mean, tuko tu wengi, like after all tuko wengi, so it's a way of survival.
That's the point, because you're like literally comforting yourself. So at that point, because you're sad at that time, like if I'm sad this time and then I take out my phone, I'm on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I become happy, and then it's that I just become happy. But then when I become sad again, I take out my phone. I mean, it's a medicine, right?
I will ask, is that like a good way of like dealing with things, or you want to confront it or suppress? Do you want to like confront it and deal with it, or do you want to suppress it while dealing with it?
Suppress it? For real?
You don't want to like know?
Yes, I'll tell you a story of my friends. Okay, I have some sad friends. Okay, so one of them tells me that it's their life. It's basically what they know ever since they were young, right? Like you can't tell. Oh yeah, it's a good example about Madam Jennifer. Okay, the co-founder, the founder of Toto Susan says that she can't tell her child usually asks her, well, how did you survive without the internet or the phone, right? And then obviously the answer would be like, well, he reaches my age, you'll understand, right? But then this child is young. He was born when technology was there, right? And when he grows up, technology is still going to be there, right? So he's not going to understand, because he grew up knowing there's technology, and technology will just be there for my comfort. It will help me. I have games, I have videos, I literally have everything on the palm of my hand.
Yes, I get it. And this brings me to a conversation of intentional parenting, where as much as personally, I did not grow up with the internet as like my siblings. Like I have like younger sisters. Now like them, they're like, as they're growing up, there's the access of the internet. Well, for me, I didn't grow up with the internet, but my parent can actually talk to my siblings about that. As much as there's the internet, there's your real feelings. There's how you can deal with your feelings without like being dependent on the internet or listening to sad music. There's actually a way that you can write them down and find a way and get to know what has made me sad at this moment and what is going to make me feel better, without me necessarily listening to like sad stories and feel like kumbe tuko wengi.
Okay, so that's a form of internet addiction.
Sorry?
Like being completely addicted to the internet. Because it's not just, TikTok videos. Like I can be addicted to a game.
Yeah. Yes.
And then, okay, so what about the... Oh yeah, this is the question I did ask you offline, right? Okay, not offline. Okay, offline, online, internet. Off air. And I asked you and you didn't even answer me. What are are there any type of good and bad addictions?
Personally, are there good addictions? No, because I'm thinking, someone may say, when I'm addicted to reading books, I think that is impactful.
Yeah.
But which books are you reading?
Well, if I'm reading a good book, that's a
Which
good addiction.
Which is the good book?
Harry Potter is a good book.
I thought you were going to say the Holy Bible.
Oh, it's a
But
good
it's
book
okay.
also. Okay, it's a good book also. Okay.
Mm,
So, okay, if I'm reading this book, it's
mm,
good. It's helping me. I'm growing every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now that brings me. So someone may say, reading, when I'm addicted to reading books,
Mhm.
this is a good thing. But as much as you're reading books and getting the information and traveling in the world using the books,
Mhm.
are you interacting with other people? Do you have like social skills? So you're going to miss on that. So personally, I don't think there's a good addiction.
So completely bad addiction.
I just feel like people should just balance. We don't have to get to the level of being addicted.
Mhm.
We should just balance. Reading books is okay. Watching movies is fine. Listening to music and dancing is okay. Being on your internet and getting to connect with your friends through WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook is okay. But you just don't have to do it excessively. We
Okay.
don't have to get to that level where steamers, when the lights are off, KPLC. And
Yeah. Okay, and then what's the way forward? Because, well, as much as we talk about it, we are just talking about it. Because there are people, as I said, like right now, a child, let's say a 1-year-old child, right? They grow up being surrounded by TV, by phones, by just everything technology, right?
Mhm.
They reach the age of 11. It's what they know. It's what they're fed. It's what they breathe in and out. Okay, what's the way forward? Because through this, they are addicted to the internet without even knowing it, because they think it's normal,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So what's the solution to it?
I will start by saying our parents, because even as a child grows, the first caregiver, the first person they get to know is not the teacher,
Mhm.
but their caregiver, be it the parents or the nannies. We should have like intentional parenting where, as parents, monitor their children and actually minimize the screen time that their kids have at home. While they're doing that, they should also have we should also have frequent conversation with the children about internet. Internet is good and it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. It is here to stay, and it has like good impact on so many things.
Mhm.
But parents should like have frequent conversation with their kids and letting them know that while you're posting your photos, you don't have to be naked and post them, because that leads now to pornography. And while you're using the internet, you don't have to go to porn sites and see those, because they're going to bring effects A, effects B, effect Z. And they should also like having like a conversation with your kids. You can find there are some kids who are exposed to pornography and their parents did not give them like access to like tablets, and because now they have friends who have these things. But if you're a parent and you're close to your child and you're having like an open conversation with your child, you can actually prevent that as well. And also programs in schools. So schools can also create like programs where counselors can come talk to students about these online addictions and the impacts. And also churches can also embrace this. We should normalize this conversation because it's here to stay over the years. Yeah.
But then I'd like to ask you one last question, because I think we will go on and not stop.
Okay.
How do I know I'm addicted to the internet?
When I will give scenarios. When you give your child, for example, a tablet, and then you take back this tablet and they're reacting to it. They're reacting to the action of you taking the tablet or withdrawing the tablet from them. And they become sad and they become agitated and they have like mood swings. They don't want to talk. Or when you realize your child is always on the phone, and it's not only children, even us, young adults, we're always on the phone. Immediately we're done here, I'll be checking my phone. I'll be checking my phone. Who texted me? Yeah. Nobody called me. Nobody's thinking about me, Yeah. So you will know you're addicted when you cannot do without. Anytime you can't any 2 minutes you just want to like have your phone, or any 2 minutes you just want to be on the screen, you're definitely addicted. And when it's not around, your moods just flip and you're just moodless. But there's sina moods. I'm sicko entertained leo
Because you don't have a phone.
because you don't have access to the internet.
Yeah.
Yes, because you can not have your phone, but you can have a smart TV where you can access YouTube, and you feel you're fine. Like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So every time you feel like you can't do without, or when it's missing, you're not your normal self, you're definitely addicted to the internet.
Well, there you have it. Njeri
Njoroge.
Okay, I almost swallowed my tongue there. Njeri Njoroge, therapist and also a very good consultative on matters concerning the internet, right? And thank you for joining the podcast, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That's Toto on Video Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you learned something about being addicted to the internet. And I hope you're not addicted to the internet, because I'm addicted to the internet. I actually am addicted to the internet, by the way.
You, me, both.
Before we leave, do you have anything else to add on?
Parting shot. Yes. I would love to like urge our caregivers to be intentional about online safety on their kids rather, and have this conversation with their children. And it starts at a younger age, because make sure as your child is growing, you're growing with them and being intentional about you parenting them. I think that's all that I have to say.
Thank you. See you on the next episode.
Bye.